everybody. Good evening. Good evening to everyone in the chat. Hello, hello, hello. Hello to my members. Guys, we're doing something different now. With our interviews, we're going to have you guys going to get first access. My members are going to get first access to all interviews that I will be having on this platform. So this is a treat that I decided to have for you guys first because you guys been faithful in your membership. You guys deserve to get first access to everything. So you guys know I have a guest this evening. She's my special guest because this guest has been all over the YouTube, and you guys have been intrigued by the stuff that's been happening. So I reached out to her and I asked her to come on in, and I've got a lot of people who are not too thrilled. But guys, remember, we're going to be on our best behavior tonight. All right, we are going to be our best behavior, and we're going to respect those that comes into my house. All right, we have rules. We have rules on all sides. Okay, so I don't want to have to repeat myself, but guys, I just want to welcome to this channel, Infamous Sylvia's channel, our advocate for Mr. Ernest William. Her name is Miss Sonya Durham. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to interview you and ask you a couple of questions.
Okay.
And I know we're going to stick with Ernesto case. We're going to stick with that. But how are you doing this evening? How's everything going?
Everything's going good.
As far as his case. One question I have for myself: why are you so passionate about his case?
Oh, his case, because I believe he's innocent, and he's being held unjustly.
And why do you say
that? And it's
that?
just, and a lot of it is because my history dealing with people when I used to work in a law firm in criminal law. And it was just sad to see how many people would get caught up in the system who didn't deserve to be there, and how not having the right people behind you, could cause a person to lose their freedom.
Okay. How long has he been in jail right now? How long
Since
has
July 7th, 2022.
Okay.
16 months, right?
And then
July, August, September, October, November, December, January. Yeah, he's been in there 18 months.
okay, how is his spirit? How's everything going? I mean, do he feel like he's getting a fair trial? Does he feel he's getting out?
No,
I mean,
he feels like he's getting railroaded, and that everything's being unjust. What he's been doing lately is just sending me cases that are similar to his and with the treatment that they're getting, as opposed to what the treatment that he's getting.
Okay. All right. I did have a couple of my subscribers to send me questions in regard to some things they wanted to ask you. And I wanted to ask you a few questions from them. But first, I want you to tell us what is it that you're hoping to happen for him, and what are the steps you're taking to helping him to get through this?
Well, I was trying earlier to work with the attorneys, but because I feel they're not working with the best interests of the client, I've just been doing some things on my own, just trying to get all the information to prove his innocence without waiting for the indictment, because, it can take up to 5 years sitting just waiting on an indictment.
Okay, so what are some of the steps you're taking to helping him?
Just getting the research and the proof to prove his innocence on all the charges, the dates, the phone calls, like the one with the sexual assault case, the R case.
You got to say the SA, because
I don't know how YouTube works, right? Okay. Well, it's for adults, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna try to curb my cussing because you know my mouth.
Please, no cussing in this channel too. No cussing.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. No, I do pretty good sometimes. Um, yeah. So, yeah, like on the one case that they said it happened January 2019. He didn't even know the person at that time. He met her 7 months later, and at that time he was actually living still in LA. So he
So
wasn't even. He wasn't. He didn't come here until his son got shot. His son got shot back in July of that year.
so
And
which
then
case is that one? Which
this is
case?
the one with the SA.
The essay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
the 961 case.
Okay, because that's one of the things I did look up on that one, and I did see that it was like around his birthday, and
Mhm.
he was in Vegas. If I'm
He
not
was in
mistaken.
Vegas, at that time.
So did he take that person to Vegas
He
or?
didn't even know her yet. He met her 8 months later. He met her after July of that year. He didn't even know her yet.
Okay. So someone says please give specific date. Kay Bonita, that is the January 8th and 2019, January 9th.
The
Those are
961 case.
yeah. Oh, we got disappear. Hello. You disappear for a second.
Oh,
That was because I did look at it, but before you get started, I wanted to show some because you know me, I do my research before I
mhm.
came on, and I wanted to show everyone that some of these people, there's two Ernest William in Cobb County Jail. There's two Ernest William with the same name in Cobb County Jail. And I wanted to show everyone this first. And that's why a lot of us are getting mixed up with the different cases. Hold on a second. This is one, Ernest William. Do you guys see that? Let me make this bigger. Hold on. You see that one? He's in jail, 1986, Ernest William. And he's been in this for 260 days. He was arrested on he's still incarcerated as of today. This is Ernest William, okay? And I went and looked at his record, and some of the stuff that we've been seeing belongs to this guy, okay? And let me show you the other one, which is the one that we're talking about. And then there's also one in Fulton County. There's three Ernest Williams that are in jail currently.
Right
And
now.
hold on, let me go get this. And this is the Ernest William here. Oh, hold on a second. That's that one. Hold on. Y'all see Ernest on this one? 1965. The other one's 1986, and this one's 1965. And they're both in the same jail. Okay? All right. Go ahead. I'm sorry. And you were saying?
No, you had it.
Okay. So I was basically showing them there is two. Okay. Kim asked,
Go ahead.
why do you feel he's being railroaded?
So his first attorney that he had when he initially got arrested said that it's something going on that's not right and that somebody's pissed off. This is what the first attorney said back in July, because when he was arrested in July, he had only had the arrest warrant for the Palmer Dodge bad check in 21.
Mm-hmm.
And that was only for like $2,000. Somebody that was with him wrote a bad check, but because it was his vehicle, they put it on him. I guess, which he would share the responsibility of, depending on what the story is behind it. I don't know if he zailed the person the money and they were supposed to write the check because he may not have had the cash on hand. I don't know the circumstances, but this was the only thing he had at the time. So this was bondable because he wasn't on probation. He didn't have anything else at that time, but they didn't give him a bond. And the attorney felt something's odd. How do you not have a bond for a $2,000 check? And then they came with, I guess, a couple weeks later with another charge. All the while, Roswell is investigating while he's sitting in jail. These weren't charges that were already out here, because only this is the only charge that's out of Roswell. All his cases are out of other cities.
And that's
Alpharetta.
which one?
Um,
Could you explain that one again? That is the
so
one.
this is right. So this is when the SA victim was in his vehicle and she had got jumped, and they destroyed the vehicle after they jumped her because she was allegedly doing PPP scams.
Okay.
And so they set her up on IG and said, meet us here in Buckhead. We want to give you some extensions or whatever. And then when she met up with them, they jumped her, they tore the vehicle up, took the keys, and then she called him like, can you, and so he went over and had the vehicle towed to the dealership. And then the dealership did the repairs, which were 2,000 and some change. But he had somebody else with him that wrote the check.
So why did he have the other person to write the check?
I don't know.
Okay.
This is just going off what the warrant says. Again, he hasn't spoke on his defense because he can't. Not till the charges come out. He's got to keep,
Okay,
So this is just going off the warrant, this part. Now, I know what led to it because he did speak on that. That's what happened to the vehicle and why the vehicle went to the shop. The girl had it.
which went first? Was it the house situation or was it this car situation? Which came first?
This was before the house, before Roswell actually did the arrest. Okay, so going back to the very beginning of everything, we don't know why Roswell came for them in the first place. Them being him and Erica, because that's where it initially started. They were saying on the news article that it was complaints of bad checks for repairs on the house. It's a rental property, so that doesn't make sense. Then they said again it was credit repair, but only one case talks about credit repair with him. Now I don't know what Erica gets, what she's involved with, so I don't know how that came about. But credit repair, only one of his cases talk about.
That's that Calvin guy, right?
Yeah, Calvin. And that's the only one that talks about credit repair. And I should put my phone on do not disturb. Yeah, and that was in 2020 of July. But again, that happened in Alpharetta. But Alpharetta police is not on this. It's Roswell. And so it's the jurisdiction is where it takes place, not your address. So if you live in Hawaii, but you're in Cleveland committing crimes, Cleveland is who comes after you, not Hawaii. So, anyway, so they did that after the fact, after they interviewed everybody. And I feel like a lot of this is based on my opinion of things. Because he says he's never lived in that location. He's never met the landlord. He's never signed a lease, and he's never.
And that's that 990 address.
That 980 address.
I thought 980 was
980 Pine. Oh, let me tell you what that. Yeah, it was 980 Pine Grove Road, Roswell, and that was and it was rented under Black Heritage Radio Trust Inc., which if you try to find it under the business section for Georgia, I don't know what y'all have, Secretary of State here. Each state is different. We have some biz in Florida. Never was listed. Can't find who owned it, anything about that company. I don't know what the process was, what the landlord did to even rent the place. But he said he never met the landlord, never lived there.
So what is the landlord saying?
I haven't reached out. So I reached out to the rental people who filed the eviction. Mm-hmm. They said they couldn't speak on it, that I would have to talk to him because I was trying to get a copy of the lease. Because I was trying to get the signatures and, what information was off the lease. So what I have to do is either get my PI on this, because I have a PI that helps me or give this to the investigator that works on the case. There's an investigator that works alongside Hannah, his other attorney. I just don't like, they come off like he's guilty and they're supposed to be defending him. So that's a problem that I have as well.
So Hannah is coming off as
Not
Ernest.
so much as Hannah, but when you talk to the investigator, I spoke to the investigator, he was coming off like he did it. And he didn't even have a conversation with him yet to even say, well, did he admit to this? Where are you getting this from? Sometimes the mindset of people feel like, well, automatically if they're charged, they did it, or sometimes they just don't care, about people, and they're just there to just get this off my desk. And I feel like it's a little bit of both, they just don't care. And when you deal with people in their lives, whether it's health or freedom, something that's very important, they should care, but it's a lot, just like his attorney that was paid, the other attorney, he doesn't care. He took the money and it's like he's working for the prosecutor.
So basically the 990 and 980, he's stating that he never
He never ever lived there, leased it, met the landlord, made a deposit, paid any rent, had keys, any of that.
So why was his car there? Why was his car?
Erica said, okay, so he was moving from the Bent Creek address, him and her, and he needed a place to put his vehicle while they were in transition. Erica said, you can park your vehicles in my driveway. And that's why they were there. And so on the day that he got arrested, he happened to be going over there. He doesn't know where the police was at this point because he's not thinking anything. He went into his glove box, took something out the glove box, left, got back in his car because he was going to the DMV, and he needed something out of the glove box, out of one of the vehicles. And then as he was driving, he went to a commercial property that he was looking to lease or inquire about. And that's when the police pulled up behind him and said his name and everything. And he wasn't even in a vehicle registered to him. His vehicle was registered to his wife. So he's trying to figure out, how do you even know me?
What vehicle was he in?
He was in a white Ford dually pickup truck. So yeah, he was like, what's going on? So they arrested him that way. That's how he initially got arrested. And at that point, like I said, he only had the one warrant, which was for let me see what day this was. He didn't even have this one.
So which one was he?
He didn't have this one because it says on July 18th, 2022, I spoke to Tammy Sexton of Financial Controller for Alpharetta Highway Palmer Dodge. So this came out even after the arrest.
So what was he arrested for? Why did they stop him to arrest him?
Yeah, it's got to be Calvin, because Calvin was the only warrant that had an older date on it. Calvin's is in July of 20. So it had to be Calvin's situation.
Is that the credit repair?
Because his was received on May 10th, 2021. Pardon me?
Is that the credit repair, the one that's a veteran?
So yeah, he's saying that he may contact, confirm details of the, okay, so driving, Zelle payments, according to the payments, I searched the phones. Okay, so this is what he's saying, that on July 2020, in Alpharetta, he was working for a company to help veterans build their credit score and assist in buying houses. The credit repair home buying assistance will come to $10,850, and that he Zelled him $10,850, and it was sent to his email, which was barbernesto77. Now that is his email. I would say that. Now, but here's the weird part about this. They used to work, or he used to work for him in his barbershop, so they know each other
So
very well.
this
But
Cal this Calvin person knows him. They know each other.
they know each other very well. His son knows them. He knows them, like they know each other, know each other. But the way they put this, they said that he walked in like he said he was working for a company to help veterans. That's not true. And he knows them not to do that. And then also, um, when he said that he introduced himself, he said that his name was Ernesto Williamson. He spoke he and his partners, but did not provide a company name. So if a person, first of all, he knows his real name because again, they know each other. And so he knows his name's not Ernesto Williamson.
So you don't
Um,
so you don't believe he basically took this man's money?
Now they don't show on here like they do on the other ones that they went and verified that the money was actually done. And again, like because they're one-sided, you need both sides to understand what happened or something to support what he's saying. Because when you see some inconsistencies, like the way he said this, he made it seem like a guy off the streets just came in and started speaking to me, and I gave him $10,000 and he didn't do what he was supposed to do. But that's not the case because they know each other. Like you, like your coworkers, you know your coworkers. You know, if you worked with them for a year, you know them. You might not never been to their house, but you know that's Lisa Johnson. You get me? I've worked with her for 6 months, a year, or whatever. So with this one, search the Zelle records. The court order was emailed to Zelle. I am waiting. So they didn't even receive the Zelle information yet. And again,
Sorry,
yeah.
hold on a second. I'm kind of asking this question from melodic memory. It says it sounds like all hearsay. How can Sonya validate anything if she wasn't there? She merely going off what Nesso told her. So how can you validate something?
So go ahead. So again, like I said, I only know one side. I don't even know his side. All I know is one thing he did say about this case is that he knows the guy personally.
Okay.
This makes it seem like they don't know each other at all.
Okay.
That's where it seems like it's a problem because the guy didn't say, I know him because we work together. He's saying the guy just walked in his business and sold him a dream, you know, and gave him this name when he in fact knows his real name and he knows him. So I'm saying inconsistency in this side of it is saying things that don't make sense, that don't add up.
So
His son even told me before he told me that they know him personally.
So they were working together, and
they worked at a barbershop together. He has several barbershops. Now I don't know if he worked for Ernest or if they just was in a barbershop. Because remember, Ernest had owned several barbershops before. So I don't know if this was one of his employees, but the son did say that this was somebody that worked in the barbershop with him and that they know each other very well.
So you don't think he actually took his money or anything like that?
Now again, it's one-sided, and he could have gave him money.
Okay.
But it's just one-sided right now. I don't know if from 2020 till a year later that he got the money back, you know, or if it was for something else. Like, I don't know that part of it. I just know with the way this reads, it reads wrong by, you know, the nature of the relationship and how he's saying things, you know, and then pick them out of a lineup, you know, and 300% lineup was attached. I contacted with a negative contact. The phone number went straight to voicemail, and that was in 2021 of May.
Okay, Bonita says 2 veterans involved. I don't think it was 2 veterans involved. I didn't read 2 veterans.
2 veterans involved in this? No, the only thing that says about veterans is that that he was supposed to be helping veterans build their credit score. But I don't know if this Calvin person is a veteran.
It did say that Calvin was a veteran. It did say that, but I don't remember 2 veterans.
There's only one person that's mentioned on this. That's it.
Okay. I guess most of the question is, if you don't know everything that's behind it, why take one side?
Mhm. Why what?
Why take one side and not, get the whole picture of everything that's happening?
Well, again, this is just the side that the Justice Department is offering, Fulton County.
Mm-hmm.
And he is strongly saying, I'm innocent, I didn't do that. And that's not how that played out, but I can't specifically say right now. I can only say that that's not how it played out.
Okay.
And because he's not indicted, and he hasn't went to court on it, can't really speak, but he can only say so much. Because again, they can twist things and it's just, I understand why he cannot speak. I've seen it happen where you speak your truth and it makes you innocent, but they still twist it around and it ends up hurting you. So I understand why. Do not say anything, on that one.
Okay. Jeanette asked, will you be, let me see. You did say he's innocent. You believe he's innocent of all. Do you believe he's innocent of all charges or just some?
Criminally, yes. Now, I spoke before about the situations with the 2 girls, the teacher and the realtor.
Okay.
And I said,
explain that one, because everybody's is upset because they're saying that you victim shamed.
Victim shamed.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't victim shame them.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like how the situations went about, I feel like it was a relationship that was personal. It didn't go accordingly. And, in some situations, a lot of women want back what they gave. So, and that's fine. You can ask for anything back. Or if he was given money to buy apples and he came back with oranges, you know what I'm saying? And they want their money back because he didn't direct the money where he said he was going to direct it. I feel like that's civil. I don't feel like that's criminal.
So even like with the credit card,
exactly.
The person, I'm just saying, she asked for him to go get
appliances. It was supposed to be appliances for her kitchen.
Mm-hmm. So she gave him the credit card to use, but he used it for something else? That's what you're saying?
He used it for a trailer, I want to say. I think it was a trailer.
But then that's theft. Then if he's supposed to be buying an appliance and then he goes and buys a trailer, it's not what she asked for. That means.
So I get what you're saying, but like I said, on the other live, it's no different from any woman in a relationship with a man, and she asks for money for one thing, and she knows it's for something else. It's the same situation. So is that criminal too? If I ask a man, say I need $3,000, for a bill, but I don't. I want to go buy some shoes and a bag and pay for this plane ticket. But he gives me the money thinking he's paying my rent. Is that criminal because I lied to him and told him I needed for this, but I actually directed the money for that?
But if you took his credit card and you buy something else, then
I mean, it's the same thing. The credit card is the same thing. But the thing with the credit card is it happened in December. She got the bill in January. She didn't report it to be an issue till August. So if it was an issue, it should have been an issue in January when she got the bill.
So it happened
in December. Okay. She got the bill in January because it only takes 30 days for the bill to come. Mm-hmm. Say if she's not using her phone, because we can look on our phone and see what's being charged, and some people have notifications of things. So if she sees that in December he bought this instead of that, which she would know because he didn't show up with it. She should have had it within 3 days if it was appliances. It doesn't take, or a week, let's say a week, for it to deliver.
Do me a favor. Read the actual warrant on that one, because a couple of people are saying something different, and I just want you to read it and see exactly what it says so we can get a full understanding.
What are they saying?
They're saying that it's something totally different from what you're saying. So we just want to make sure it's the right one. You know what? Let me go get my folder with all my stuff on it. Hold on a second.
All right.
I have itemized.
You might be better organized than me.
I get it.
My kitchen is my office right now. This is Beckham. Okay.
You got it?
I got it.
Okay. Go ahead.
He purchased a trailer for $9,000. Wait a minute. That's different. No, that's something. No. Okay, scratch that. That's what he didn't purchase a trailer with her situation. That was a warrant that he had for purchasing a trailer with a bad check. Okay. So I think that was the initial thing that he got arrested on. Oh, that's Henry County. So much. Okay, anyway. A search warrant.
If you go to
So it's saying that he was arrested on an outstanding warrant of theft by deception. And I want to say that was Calvin, because that happened in May of 21. And then they tried to say that the landlord, this was on hers, this is how it all started, which is, that's an eviction, that's civil.
So did you get the one with the purchase? Because I have it here.
Okay, so this one says, okay, they met.
Melanie Scretcham, right?
No, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Melanie? Oh, yeah, because the other girl is Beckham. Right, okay, so yeah, they met in August of 22. No, that's when they interviewed her, I'm sorry. They met September 2021, right?
Mm-hmm. So we were talking about, if you go to item number 18, this is the item number 18. Yeah, start from there and then read that. And then.
Okay, yeah, December. Okay, Williams stated that he needed to Chevy dealer to ask about a Tahoe. Right, on update, Scratchen said that she and William started planning a trip to take during Christmas break. That's a relationship, right? During this call, William stated to Scranton that he would be able to pay her debt off for her and that Dominique would bring the money via check. The money was never brought. William also said to Scranton that she needs to renovate her kitchen, right, and appliances, right. That's what the credit card was for, right? The appliances. So on that same day, December 1st, he charged $2,000 to an auto precinct auto on her MasterCard. He purchased multiple vehicles at this location. The search warrant, right, for record procedure precinct 1, a scrap piece of paper, right. So he bought something at a dealership or some type of car, right? Same day, First Federal, made a purchase at Laura's truck in the amount of $1,017. Exactly, right? So that's December 1st.
But you see where it goes down, where on the 19th, they said that he used the money, a MasterCard for $1,000.
I see that. I see the $1,017, that one.
Yeah.
Yep. And then again on the 4th.
But that's totally different from what you were saying about him, like a girlfriend like a guy give a girl to buy something and then she turns around and buy something different. That's totally different from what you're saying.
That he took the money, instead of buying what he told her he was going to buy, he bought something different, right?
Yeah, but she's saying there was no authorization for the transaction.
He
And
was supposed to buy, yeah, he was supposed to buy appliances for her kitchen, and he ended up buying, um, it's still civil. And it's people want to say it, it's not. I'm gonna tell you, my sister is going through it now. She gave this guy $5,000 because he had, a discount on furniture for a furniture store. Somebody she don't even really know, but he used to come in and out this her where she worked at. So she knew him as a customer. And so he got the $5,000 and never showed up with the furniture or anything. Just ghosted her, avoided her calls, everything. She went to the police. The police said it was civil. And this is a stranger that she gave money to. Said it was civil. She had only talked to him one time. Just like when I was spoke on the fact that the guy came to the police department and said a guy that gave $1.4 million to do a movie. This is in Roswell. And the police told him that's not criminal, that's civil. $1.4 million to do a movie, and the guy did nothing with the money. He did nothing towards a movie at all. He didn't start a movie. He didn't do anything. He just took the money and bounced. And they told him it's civil. So you put this in the same light. It's civil. It's civil. Not saying he was right for this, because civil, you're still wrong. You're still wrong. If in fact, too, she felt that this was criminal at the time, then why didn't she call the month after, after this happened? She didn't make a report till August when she spoke to Roswell. When she went to South Fulton and reported the vehicle, because she kept telling him, bring me back my car, bring me back my car. He kept, okay, but never did it. And so she filed that it was missing or unauthorized use of a vehicle. She didn't report anything else because all of this is coming out of Roswell when it should have came out of South Fulton, because this happened in South Fulton. This didn't happen in Roswell.
so you're basically saying that when this happened in December, all of these transactions
Now, I'm not saying he was right. Don't get it twisted in saying if this is what actually happened, he's dead wrong for that. If this is exactly what happened, I don't know. This is her side, And at the time, she was mad at him. I can say that because this is the same person that went on the wife's page and said, "I got to tell you something about your husband."
Okay, so okay, now I mean I'm understanding what you're saying. You're basically saying all this time that she's been doing things and giving him money and all this, and she waits months later to make a complaint about something that happened the year before.
8 months later, this was December. The complaint came out in August.
But she kept giving him money because that's what.
And she kept giving him money after the fact too. Like this, it wasn't a one-time thing. So it was August the 15th is when they came to her. August the 30th is when she went down and met with somebody and spoke on it. So that was 9 months later, because August 30th and this happened December 1st. So that's almost like one day short of 9 months. So I feel like if anything, you would have gave them 30 days and something would have been filed in February. Because I understand credit card companies will say they're not going to forgive anything unless you get a police report or else you got to pay it,
So your logic behind all of this is basically that they were in a relationship and therefore she was giving him money and
okay, you see it right here. We were supposed to take a trip together for Christmas break.
See that?
And we've been sleeping together since.
I see that.
Yeah. So, I mean, in her mind, and then when he went to jail and she didn't know, she went to the wife to say, let me tell you about your husband. Because she thought he ghosted her, but he didn't. He was just in jail and couldn't answer the phone. But in her mind, she thought, this man just, my assumption on that. But like I said, not saying any of this is right if he did it. Again, this is a one-sided story, because I don't know what he gave her or what he did for her.
Okay. Someone just said they don't care how long it took. He stole the money from her.
Okay, so it was misdirected. Let's say that. I don't think you would call it stole, because to steal it, she would have to be unaware. And if she felt, the thing of it is, if she felt it was stolen, she should have felt it was stolen immediately. That's what I'm saying. If I'm with somebody and they do something to me on Tuesday, I'm not going to wait till Tuesday the following year to say, okay, now I'm going to do something to you because this, that, and the other. I'm going to take action right then and there. I'm not going to wait a year or 10 months or 7 months. Why was it so long before she made anything? If you're trying to say it was a crime, because that's the debate, to say, oh, this is criminal instead of civil. I feel very strongly that it's civil. 5 people have agreed with me because I know that I have personal ties to this person. So sometimes a person don't think clearly. So I spoke to a prosecutor, a detective, a police department, and a police officer, and I talked to a couple attorneys, and they all said it's civil. So it's not just me saying it, because of course I am emotionally involved in the case because I care about the person. So I'm always think a little bit, for him, you know what I'm saying? But to be fair, that's why I asked a couple of people who were not involved in the situation, and they both agreed that it was civil and it was not criminal. If he had taken the money without her knowledge, went in her wallet and took her card and used it, then you could say that's criminal.
I got you.
Even though he took it and bought apples instead of oranges, he's wrong, but he's civilly wrong.
Okay, I got what you. She gave him
People
permission.
hate that sometimes, but it's just what it is. Just like I said, what my sister is going through, her situation, same thing. But they told her, and she didn't even really know the dude. You know what I'm saying? She had to get a PI and everything because she didn't know him other than a customer. And they was like, it's civil. He took all her money. He lied to her, said he was going to do this, that, and the other. He took her money and ran with it. And that should be criminal. You would think that's criminal. But they said because you gave him, the money for a business transaction or whatever the case may be, and because he didn't follow through with his end, he kept your money and avoided the cost, it's civil. I have a client that right before I quit the law firm, same thing. He gave this guy $50,000. Guy said I can turn it into $1 million in 6 months. Never did it.
Okay.
So
no, I guess Love Nona Creation says Judge Judy would have told them, ladies, sorry about your luck.
I mean, the thing of it is, if you want your money, it's civil. And so that's not victim shaming them. That's just saying because of the circumstances around the situation, it turns into a civil situation instead of a criminal. If he was in her purse without her knowledge, criminal. If he snatched it and ran with it, criminal. You know what I'm saying? Because it was without knowledge. But because she knowingly gave it to him, even though he misdirected the money, it's still civil. It's like with the movie. The guy took that $1 million and he misdirected the money, and it's civil.
So
now, when you do it over and over and over again, then it can become criminal, like with the guys going through with DJ Envy in New York, because it was business, but he did it over and over and over, the same thing, and they turned it into a crime.
But he's been doing this to this lady over and over and over again. So wouldn't it then be criminal?
The thing with this is, you don't know the full story. That's the thing. You don't know when he got the money.
Somebody just agree with you. They say in the state of Virginia, what she is saying is fact. Okay.
Yes, it's fact. I'm telling you.
Okay.
People don't want to hear that because they want to, go to jail. I mean, he's been in jail to serve the time for this by now anyway. So time served on this. But still, and it's probationable. But
okay.
It's get your money back. It's sue him and get your money.
Hold on a second. Tabitha, listen, we're not doing the name calling in here, please. That was one of the rules. No name calling in here, please. Somebody remove that. Mods, remove that statement. Let's be civil here. Let's not name call. Let's not do that. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Let's keep it cute, guys. Let's not do the name calling. We could disagree, but we do not do the name calling. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was just saying, it's not saying that, he wasn't, wrong if you go by this and say this is exactly what happened, you know, I would say definitely if this is what happened, that's wrong. But I just feel like it's civil. I can't say that it's a crime. And again, it's only half the story. It's not the whole story.
But you,
Sometimes, a lot of times, what women do when they're upset and they want to talk about somebody, they only say the specific things that make him look bad and not the whole story. So this is just everything that she did for him. This is not saying, okay, well, I gave him 5,000, but he gave me this, and you know what I'm saying, and da 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 da. He gave her a vehicle for 2 months because her vehicle was broken down. He was picking her and her son up. He was staying the night. Like, it was a whole relationship. You know,
okay, okay.
so you know,
So, but don't you think with all of this stuff that's packing on to this here, there's something he may be guilty of?
that's what I said. Like, you could say if this is true, then he's civilly guilty of this. It's not necessarily have to be a crime. It's still wrong. But I feel like if this is true with him and this girl and him and the other girl, I feel like, yes, he's civilly wrong for that. I wouldn't say criminally because of the nature of the situation doesn't make it a crime. They'd have to prove that it was some type of criminal intent. But like I said,
What about him
this is the thing, because this is what they tried to argue in court.
Uh-huh.
She tried to say that he went after her and used the whole, my wife's a celebrity to try to impress her because, he told her she was married. He was married in the very beginning before anything popped off between them. He did tell her he was married. And then, it carried on from there. But what didn't make sense is she drove an old vehicle. She said she was a teacher and, and she sold makeup part-time and that she was not really financially secure in that moment. In Atlanta, we have female millionaires. We have females that make tons and tons and tons of money. So if they're trying to say that it was some type of scam from the jump off, you would pick a better mark. You wouldn't pick a woman, that's financially distressed. You would pick a woman that's making money. And you have that here. You have plenty of females here that make money. Plenty. So to say that, again, I say that's wrong because you're not going to, pick somebody that's not doing well to try to scam at all. So I don't believe it was ill intent in the beginning because, again, a poor person is not a mark. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it disrespectfully. You know what I'm saying? Financially, a teacher, we know teachers don't make good money. And then she sold makeup on it, and then her car was a $1,500 car. So she was not, scam material. If you want to say it was, intent to be a crime off rip. That's why I say a lot of things don't add up. And as much as people want to hate that, you still the end result would be her getting her money back. And that's what you want. You want your money back. You get me? So if you sue them civilly, you get your money back. You put them in jail, you don't get your money back. It's a slim chance that you get your money back, So, and like I said, it's civil. It's civil. They don't want to hear that. It's not against the victims or the people involved. It's just the nature of the situation.
Okay,
It makes it civil.
The rental situation civil, right? You're saying this?
The rent eviction is civil. When somebody doesn't pay rent, you don't go to the police. You go to court and evict them.
Okay, I agree with you on that one. But this using the credit card for a different purpose and then her asking for the money back, him not giving the money back, doesn't that become criminal then?
No, because it's the same thing as giving them cash. You gave them permission to use the card.
Okay. Okay.
She gave him the card, so she gave him permission to use the card. Now, again, he went and did something he had no business doing. He is civilly wrong. I need my money back, you know?
Okay. All
But
right.
again, you got to look at it was like an 8 month, 9 month relationship. It was not no 30-day situation where he was just in it and out. He was with her for a long time. She drove his vehicle for 2 months. So he was doing things for her. He was picking her up, taking her to work when her car was broke down. He was staying the night with her.
So
So it was, and this is only a portion of what she's just saying. This is not the full story from when he opens his mouth. Now, this goes to court, going to trial. She's going on the stand and she's got to, say whatever is whatever, you know.
she's saying here that she didn't give him the card. He wrote the card number down, and that was found in his belonging.
She didn't give him the card.
She said herself, Big Swan, she said herself that he went to go buy the stuff with her credit card. She said it. She said it in
They talked about the credit card because he asked her what was left on it and to raise the limit. So she knew about the credit card.
She did.
She knew because he asked her about raising the limit and this was this and go do that. And she was like, no, or yes, or something to that effect. But they talked about the credit card.
She raised the credit limit. She asked for a raise of credit. That's how he was supposed to be buying the thing at Brand Smart.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he did write the credit card number down on a piece of paper. He did do that, but it did talk about her. She did say in her statement that he had called and asked her about raising her credit limit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's civil. She wanted her money back. Yeah, it's wrong if this is exactly what happened. He's wrong for it. I'm not saying he's right. He's dead wrong if this is true, word for word, and that's it, And he just took, and this, that, and the other. And I don't know what their conversations were, or what their text messages were, whatever, between them. Because, again, I didn't find out about this until he was in jail. So.
Okay, Bonita asks, okay, but in the case in Georgia, what's different does it make? Hold on. What difference does it make because he's in a criminal jail? Well, I guess that's not a question, it's more of a statement. Okay, all right, so are we ready to move on to that? Because I think this one here is kind of like, I understand where you're coming from, and when you're saying that there was things given throughout this relationship and things wasn't done right. So now she couldn't find him and she contacted the wife, right? And
okay. On
Instagram, because I did see the message where she contacted her. And so she felt that he kind of like disappeared on her type of thing. Right? And this is the one that's in do Corel have this one, or is it Hannah that has this case?
Hannah has this one. Hannah has her. Corel only has right now the Erica cases.
Okay.
And he had the Calvin case and the Erica case. That's what he has.
Okay. Now, and I know he's happy that he has you on in his corner and you've been fighting for him. But a couple of people wanted to ask in regard to we talked about the victim shaming that they say that you did on the phone call.
I said the same thing I just said now, that it's civil. That's not shaming them. It's civil. If you're dealing with somebody and you're giving them stuff and they don't do what they're supposed to do and you keep giving them stuff, for whatever reason, I don't know her, and he shows you he's, doing things that he's not supposed to do. He's not coming back with the apples, he's coming back with the oranges. Then you cut it right there. I'm not, unless I go with you, I'm not about to give you another dime because you already showed me what it is, so you just, but that's me, but shaming them. No, I didn't say anything about them. I said This is one-sided. It's not the full story. It's just what she said. And if this is true specifically, then it's civil.
Well, no, I think there was more
But
talk.
that's not shaming her. I said the same thing on the phone. I said the same thing. I said it's civil. When I read this on the 20, when I got this, when I picked all this stuff up, this is when I spoke on it on the phone. And it's a lot of calls. So sometimes I screw up what I remember and what I do remember. So correct me, you know what I'm saying? Like the one girl did, she pulled the phone call up and sent it to me. But it was still, she was slightly wrong because she didn't listen to the whole conversation. She just listened to that one part of it and said, I said this, that, and the other. But I didn't talk about them to shame them. All I said was, if this happened the way this happened, he wrong, but he's civilly wrong.
Okay, somebody's saying, Sylvia, what about the 16-year-old? She was 19 when she was
He
filed.
was 16.
I don't think it was anybody 16. Where you guys getting a 16-year-old one from?
Fates is she's 22.
She's
and
20.
she was 19 at the time.
Yeah, what 16-year-old are you talking about?
And her dad was involved in that situation, which is also crazy.
Explain to me that whole situation with the young lady.
So she wanted to be famous. She wanted to be a rapper, singer, actress. She felt, her and her dad felt that he could help because he had ties. This is what it said, right?
Okay.
He mentioned her to me because of my niece, and my niece has the YouTube channel, and she has, you know, a rap album or rap LP, I don't know, EP or whatever you call it. She's got a couple rap records or whatever, and she does very well. So and then I also know somebody that owns a record label, and he knew this, and he spoke about her to me. This is the only person he ever spoke about. And he spoke about the father as well and said that the father wanted him to help her, you know, straighten herself out because she was committing a lot of crimes with the mother.
Okay, so the daughter was committing a lot of crime with.
And so we'll say allegedly because people get in trouble for not saying that because she doesn't have a conviction. But
so who's supposedly allegedly doing this crime?
The daughter and the mother was supposedly scamming people with PPP loans and stuff like that. And this is one of the reasons why she had got jumped and the car got destroyed because of that. They were looking for her and they found her. They baited her and then she got beat up and they tore the vehicle up as well. This was right on her birthday in 21. This is right after, this is 2 years after they met because they met in August of 19, August around there, right after the son got shot. Is when they met.
But in the paperwork, it said they met in January 8th, 2019. That they
again, he wasn't even in town. He was still living in LA. He didn't even sign their lease